My name is Rob Moster. I'm the president and founder of ER Squared. We are a consulting company focusing in the life sciences area, and we also partnered with Ziffo Technologies for services delivery. So ER Squared is the consulting arm, and we specialize in supporting the metadata designer adoption. And we are partnered with Ziffo Technologies for services delivery, which supports the metadata rave, EDC builds, custom function developments, et cetera, from EDC builds all the way through to statistical analysis as clients need.
So thank you so much for speaking with us today, Robert. I wanted to ask you, how does the use of these new technologies like Metadata Designer and implementing these types of systems change the way that people manage their processes?
It's a great question. A lot of times when you get asked that type of question, people focus on how it affects their daily work in terms of implementing a new system. They take and map out, this is my current state process, this is my future state process, and what steps are going to change along the way. And then they look at how they have to revise their SOPs to accommodate those changes. And that's the core basic. That definitely has to be done. But I think what's the most interesting part of this, if you think about the adoption of technologies and what are some of the hesitations that people have in taking advantage of new technologies. And a common complaint you'll hear is that people get very nervous that these new technologies are going to reduce their flexibility, reduce their creativity. And one of the things that you need to take a look at is how does leveraging the technology actually allow them to just refocus their energies so that they can focus their creative energies in a more value-added approach. With the classic case of EDC, there are a lot of people felt that implementing EDC was going to reduce how much flexibility they had to design their case report forms. And after they learned to use a system and learned to leverage the capabilities of the system, they found that they could actually create more dynamic case report forms that could have logic built into them, that could drive based on the logic of what data was entered, what was shown to the screen, et cetera. And they actually learned they have greater flexibility and greater control using the new systems. And when we talk about systems such as the Metadata Designer product, which is one of the areas we are focusing on, I think people tend to think that they're going to lose some of their creativity for designing the protocols, and a lot of it comes down to it's going to redirect their energies away from almost throwaway activities, less value-added activities where people are focusing on wording. There's numerous cases, and you talk to anybody in the industry where people argue over and over again about the wording of how something is presented in the protocol or how the protocol should be laid out. If you eliminate those types of menial discussions and focus more on the value added by looking at the benchmarks and focusing on, am I really driving the value that I need from my clinical trial? Do I have my true line of sight all the way through? And then how can I compare myself against other trials in the industry and see, am I doing it too much, too little? Am I on par? Do I expect to be on par, or do I intend to be pushing the envelope? And it gives them ways to focus their energies and more value-added creativity.